Welcome back, everybody, to the Irish Furian. I am the Irish Furian, and so this one is just to say that this is going to conflict with the paradigm and the narrative which has been given to all of you and us over the last 10, 20 years, 30 years, and basically it's this: um, women are men's responsibility. Sorry, now that's the fan heater kicking in, but yeah, men are supposed to have control over women. I've been talking about this in the past, that this can only be when the men themselves are moral and they are not immoral creatures, because no woman would want to adhere to an immoral creature in her sane mind. So, but what I'm saying is that I'll go a step further, and I want to talk like in terms of why we don't understand how we say like the age of marriage up until I don't know when it is. I have to research this. I think it's the 1920s or something like that. 19 in America, and many parts in the Western world, the age of marriage was 7 and very young. And we tend to think, and the same thing with Muhammad in Islam. Everybody, all the Zionist supported media touts him as a pedophile and all the rest of it. But what people don't understand, coming from an over sexualized society where people have lost their gender roles, and when I say gender, I mean male and female, that men are responsible for women. And I've come to understand this now because in my own life, I acted as a bad king when it came to women. Um, and in my journey, I've come to understand and realize that you have to be a good king in order for it to have a structured and sound society and civilization. So that's why none of you can understand why women got married so young, or why men took multiple wives in the Old Testament, in the Bible, and in the Quran, in Islam. The reason for this is to take responsibility for vulnerable women, and yeah, possibly to reproduce, most likely to reproduce as well. But women were the responsibility of men, and they were to be protected and provided for by men. Um, we've lost that understanding, which is why we can't understand these things about previous civilizations where the age of marriage was so low. We think it's about sex. It's not about sex. It's about the provision and caring for. If you look in society, Irish society now, you'll see there are many middle-aged women. There are many, what would you call it, special needs women. There are who are alone now. Even teenage girls out there on their own, vulnerable, alone, being preyed upon by men who've become, what would you say, immoral in their thinking from watching all the current media that's bombarding their brains, including pornography. And so we don't understand why this is the sign of a failing society. Is that we don't understand that men are supposed to have control over women, but not in that stereotypical narcissistic relationship kind of way whereby it's like over controlling. No, it's control to control suffering. Nothing wrong with control. Control is good if the effort through control is to alleviate suffering. All of your society, your systems you live in, is control over you to stop your suffering. Like you're not out in the field pulling up blades of grass to stuff in your mouth to eat because you're not able to farm for yourself. You go into a supermarket, you pull it. That's all control so that you don't overly suffer. Now, however, there are offsets to that by the Luciferian system, which is to Satan has control over that system under God's reckoning, ultimately. But these are the times we live in. So, but I want to impress upon you the message of this video is that you need to think about and understand that vulnerable women, like for a man to take more than one wife is an incredible hardship because he has to provide for both of them. It's in Islam and in Christianity as well, believe it or not. No man wants to do that. In our society, most men don't even want to take on one woman, so they're like adult children. And I have been myself, you know, and they go around just wanting to have the fun and fruits of having a sexual life, but not the responsibility that goes with it in providing for and protecting that woman. Okay, so that's what this message is about. Thank you.